Well, welcome back to the Word Expanded, the Gospels. We're talking about Matthew chapter 9. We're talking about verses 32 and 34. So let me read those and get right into it, right? In verse 32, it says this: As they were going away, behold, a demon-oppressed man who was mute was brought to him. And when the demon had been cast out, the mute man spoke, and the crowds marveled, saying, Never was anything like this seen in Israel. But the Pharisee said he cast demons by the prince of demons. This should probably be a really short, the Word Expanded, only I just talk a lot, right? This is a very, very simple couple sentences, right? The concept is very simple. There was a mute man, a demon oppressed mute man, right, who was not able to talk. And they brought him to Jesus, right? And the man suddenly spoke. Right? So this is a very simplistic thing in nature. There are a lot of things that the oppression of the enemy does that does not allow us to do. We think about the blindness and the hearing, right? The talking. We think about walking, all kinds of things like that are big in nature. But there's a lot of little things that the enemy can oppress you with that doesn't have you seeing things clearly, being able to do things clearly, hear things clearly, right? There are a lot of things that happen, our whole perspective, our point of view, the way that we talk, the way that we act, right? The enemy just oppresses us so that we're always angry. And then all of a sudden, we run into Jesus, and Jesus does exactly what he says is going to happen. Darkness and light cannot be in the same place. So the demon leaves the oppressed man. The second that the demon leaves the oppressed man alone, all of a sudden, he sees clearly. Well, he's not blind, but he sees right clearly because there's not an oppression, and he starts to speak. And he speaks, and the crowds marvel. Never has anything been done like this. Why? Because there's this constant oppression on us that people don't like to talk about. Half of the people who listen to me with this will be like, oh, Andy, there's a demon around every corner. Listen to me very carefully. There's a demon around every corner. Every corner of life. The enemy is 24/7 working on you. You don't think so? Just pay attention to your attitude and your thoughts all day long. Right? The second you let down your guard, funny how thoughts, attitudes, words, actions change. Right? We're fighting hard. You ever go to church and you're fighting on the way to church? You're not fighting in church, but then you're fighting on the way home from church? What happened? Right? The oppression left you while you were in church. Now that doesn't always happen, but sometimes it happens, right? It leaves you in church, but then the second you come out, it hits you again. So there's a man who can't speak because he's being oppressed. What is it that you can't do because you're being oppressed? Is it forgiveness? Is it anger? Can you not say words of encouragement to people? Can you not quit lying? Can you not quit stealing? Can you not quit thinking bad things? Do you have an addiction? What is it that the enemy is constantly oppressing you, constantly trying to get you to think about? There are people that I know, there are people that you know, there are people that we don't know but we listen to. They simply cannot say anything good about people. They're incapable. There is an oppression on them that makes it so that all they see is the bad. Want an example of that? The last part of this section. The Pharisees see this happening, and rather than praising God that somebody who couldn't speak can now speak, they're now saying, nope, he's doing this because of the prince of the demons, right? He casts out demons by the prince of the demons. So he's working against himself. It's an amazing thing. The people that are out there who cannot see anything good. When something happens, they immediately bring out the negative. Oh, it won't last. Oh, he didn't mean it. Oh, she didn't really think that. Oh, but she wasn't as bad as we thought she was. Oh, no, they'll never win. This will never happen. Right, that's the immediate. They see something great. They see something amazing, and they immediately think the worst. Recently at our church, we've had some people healed, right, from some curable right? Eating, right, disorders. And it's amazing because there are some people who are ecstatic about the whole thing. But then I literally listen to people say, no, listen, be careful because maybe it's not what you think. And you got to still be careful. And you still got to think this and that. So imagine getting your healing and going, but still act like you're sick, please. That's what we literally do to people. Right? Don't be a Pharisee. Don't be that person. And if you are that person, immediately think you might be in need of healing as well. You might need some Jesus as well to get rid of that oppression that's keeping you from seeing things the way that Jesus saw things, the way that other people, some of the people, man, nothing like this has ever been done. This is amazing. And some people, yeah, he's just casting out demons by the enemy. Crazy. That happens every single day in churches and in ministries. Some people praising God for what just happened, and some people are thinking the worst of what just happened. Which group are you in? We'll see you next time. The Word Expanded. The Gospels